This is the big gist today, bringing you the hottest political updates straight from Rivers State. Big news, Tonye Cole has just declared he's joining the 2027 governorship race. Let's get right into the full story from an interview granted by Channels TV.
At the center of the controversy is the planned local government election scheduled for the 30th of August, which critics say is being orchestrated by the sole administrator without legal mandate or legitimacy. In a strongly worded petition addressed to President Bola Tinubu, 22 prominent figures from Rivers State, including Mr. Atedo Peterside, former Governor Celestine Omehia, Senator Lee member, are warning that there is currently no lawfully constituted Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission as yet, making the planned elections not just illegal, but dangerous to the fabric of Nigeria's federalism. According to the group, the so-called Electoral Commission failed to issue a constitutionally required 90-day notice, has bypassed legislative oversight, and is pushing ahead with polls despite pending court cases at the Federal High Court and the Supreme Court challenging the legality of the sole administrator's role. The stakeholders say this process mirrors the procedural irregularities that got the 2024 elections annulled, and caution that Rivers State is slipping into a constitutional crisis. They are now calling on the presidency, judiciary, civil society, and international observers to intervene urgently to prevent what they call an existential assault on democracy in the oil-rich state. Let's speak now with one of the signatories to that open letter to President Bola Tinubu, Mr. Tonye Cole, a founder of Sahara Energy and the 2023 governorship candidate of the APC in Rivers State. Is live with us from our Lagos studio. It's a pleasure having you join us tonight on the program. And I'm sure that it's with a heavy heart that some of you who have called yourself elders and stakeholders in Rivers State have written this letter. But what gives you more fear, or the greatest fear, about all of what is going on in your state?
Well, Sean, always a pleasure to be with you. To answer your question, Rivers State always seems to be in the headlines for the wrong reasons. I've said this over and over again. And one of the things that concern me the most is that if we cannot get governance correct in Rivers State, and we continue to use Rivers State as an experiment of any type of politics, we don't know which party is in existence in Rivers State. Is it PDP? Is it APC? Is it a mixture of both? You know, everything just seems wrong. And so one of the things that we are very, very concerned about is that we must establish good governance and the rule of law in Rivers State for anything to begin to work.
There are those who say that there are debates about the decision of the president in the first place to declare a state of emergency and impose that emergency or temporary measures to govern the state. Which there are those who also believe that if the president had not taken that decision, the state may have been thrown into governance abyss, and things may have gone south in the state. But you look at all what has happened, and the position of the law has been cited by some of you signatories to that open letter. Under what circumstances do you think the administrator would have conducted a local government election?
You know, and that's where the challenge is. And I think right from the beginning, the issue of whether the Constitution was flouted in bringing a sole administrator has always been the case. But in my opinion, regardless of whether that was right or wrong, that was being tested in the judiciary. And we're waiting for the judiciary to come out and make a very strong position about whether it was constitutional or not. And that process was going on. Because that process is on, and it is such a fundamental issue, it makes it very untenable, and I think very, very careless, to conduct things like local government elections under that canopy. That's where the main challenge is. And then there are a series of others, including the mandatory 90-day notice period, which has not been given. You know, there are just so many things that are wrong with this particular process, and that's why my signature is on it.
What would you suggest as a way forward? Because it does look like there are a plethora of cases that have been cited in that open letter. In that open letter, there are cases cited: Adewumi versus Plastics and Okafor versus Ume. The Supreme Court case is being also cited as though there is a quagmire, there is a stalemate, there is nowhere to go. What would be the suggestion of the elder statesmen and women who had written this letter? What is the intervention you're seeking from the president? Because it does look like you're asking the president, ultimately, the one that will be able to get the state out of this logjam.
Sure, that's such an excellent question. And the way I would answer this is that, first, the term of the sole administrator, 6 months, is coming to an end. I mean, by next month, it's done. What I would have advised would be allow that term to elapse. Because in the first instance, you have made peace between the governor, Sim Fubara, and the protagonist, Nyesom Wike. So there's peace there. That's where all the crisis was coming from. So let's assume in the very much publicized peace arrangement a month or so ago that has been agreed, which should mean that if that peace is real, then the state governor will be coming back to office in a month's time, at which point you can then begin to conduct local government elections under an elected legitimate government, and then we move on. Nobody will have this kind of case to speak about. So why not wait the 1 month? If the peace is real, and the whole reason for this state of emergency was that there was this intractable commotion between the former governor and the present governor, which we are made to understand has been resolved, then why not wait? I can't understand why this rush for a local government election a month before the sole administrator's term elapses, unless there's something untoward. Maybe they want to extend the term for another 6 months. Who knows? You know, things just don't add up.
So you suspect something could be in the offing, isn't it?
Yeah, something could be in the offing. So if there's such a rush for local government elections now, when the term of the sole administrator is about to elapse, then it raises questions. It just puts everybody in an uncomfortable situation. What is going on? Does it mean that the state governor, Sim Fubara, is not going to come back? Does it mean that there is an extension? Does it mean that they don't trust him at all? Remember, he conducted local government elections before, and it was under similar circumstances, and the Supreme Court nullified it completely. Are they saying that as a state governor who is due to come back, they do not trust him to conduct legitimate local government elections, and so they want to impose or ensure that this process is finished before they hand over to him? Something is wrong. Something is off, and I don't trust this process.
As a student of literature and one who also did a bit of literary aesthetics, looking at the language of the text which you are signatory to, there seems to be some kind of frustration that's come in the tone in which the stakeholders wrote to the president. And perhaps the unity that have now emerged from these very well-respected Rivers sons and daughters, one would have imagined that this had come earlier, when before all of this thing escalated into a state that it does now look like it is out of the hands of the elder statesmen who should have been consulted when there is a crisis in the state. So why is this coming now? Why didn't this convergence had happened when the crisis, and when everybody, and I remember my interview with you on 2 occasions. I had asked you, and you've listed people on the some of the signatories. You said these are the people that could make peace happen in Rivers State. Absolutely.
Sure. Again, another great question. I would like to remind you that the Rivers State elders, a couple of them already on this list, plus the new ones that have joined, have issued severally communiques and letters to the president and also to Rivers State at various stages of this conflict on solutions that they believe need to be done. But for whatever reason, nobody took the statements and the concerns seriously until this point. We're now at a place where everybody is seeing that there is something wrong with what is going on. And maybe now voices of the elders will begin to be respected. You asked what concerns us as elders of Rivers State, and I'll tell you one thing that concerns us. The main aspect of it is this ability to do whatever you like. We call it impunity, irrespective of what the judiciary says. And then after it is done, then everybody goes to court to go and see whether or not my impunity will stand or not. And I think it's very dangerous to continually test the judiciary by carrying out whatever you like, irrespective of past cases, past judgments, what the Supreme Court has said, what the law says. Just, there's so much impunity. You know, Shewe, it shocks me.
Let's take a quick break, Mr. Cole. And we come back to your dear state has become perhaps Nigeria's most politically volatile state. We'll be right back, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Our closing moments now with Mr. Tonye Cole, the founder of Sahara Energy and the governorship candidate of the APC in the 2023 elections. By the way, Mr. Cole, are you still in the APC?
That's the perennial question all the time. I am still in the APC.
Your friend, Rotimi Amechi, is gone to the ADC. So by association, there are those who are saying maybe you are now with your friend, Rotimi Amechi, in the ADC. D, and I'm emphasizing those middle letters, D and the P. Which one do you belong now? Are you considering the D other than the P?
I'm in the APC for now. I'm in the APC.
Would you be running for governorship in 2027?
I most definitely will be running for governorship in 2027.
What do you think perhaps will be your major reason to do that again? That will be the third time.
Yeah, I think everybody has seen what is needed in Rivers State in terms of the kind of alternative to what we have always seen. And Rivers State continues to be in this position where everybody calls for, they keep asking, what is going on? You have there are better ways of running a state. And I think it's about time that we put Rivers State where it needs to be. Rivers State should not be in the mess it is right now. And I believe that, well, I believe that we have what it takes to just make Rivers State correct.
If Rotimi Amechi is in the ADC, and he said a lot of things about how the government of the day is running the affairs of the state, and how the party is in the shape the party is right now. Morally speaking, what do you make of your friend's decision? Has he consulted you to come over?
No. You know, one of the things that I've always respected about myself and my friendships that I have across board, regardless of what political leaning it is that everybody respects the decisions that they have. We're all individuals, and we're political individuals that have leanings that are both personal and communal. Now, I've always said that Rotimi Amechi has the absolute right to run where he wants to run, do what he wants to do, and lead as he wants to lead. He brought me into politics, and that's an undisputable fact. Nobody can change that. But we also have a right to choose our path, to choose where we want to go, how we want to run, where we want to associate, and all of that. And I believe at this point in time that running for the governor of Rivers State in the way and manner with which we guarantee that we stop the rot is what is important. He's running for president, I'm running for governor. The path that we take to achieve that, each individual will take the path best noted, best able to achieve that vision for themselves.
So you and Minister Wike are going to be working together, is that right?
No, I didn't say that. I have no idea. I've never spoken to Wike about governorship. We are going to chart our course. I have no idea how that course is going to evolve. But no, I've never sat with Wike to discuss anything regarding Rivers State government or Rivers State governance. And no. and charting my course.
So who is now the leader of the APC in Rivers now, since Amaechi is gone?
You know, and that's an open question. As gubernatorial candidate in Rivers State, I remain the leader of APC in Rivers State. Now, that depends on what the president says, because we don't know where Wike is. I have no idea whether he's in PDP, whether he's in APC, whether he's in PDP, APC. There's that faction of it. But then there is an APC in Rivers State that continues to be legitimate, of which I lead, and I continue to lead that APC faction in Rivers State. And we'll continue doing that.
The likes of Mr. Jack Rich, Tonye Cole, I don't know how you're going to be able to coalesce with these people in charting a way for your party. But finally, have you spoken with the president about the state of affairs in your state? Have you had opportunity of discussing it with President Bola Tinubu?
Not yet, but the time will come. I suspect that one of the things that the president is deeply concerned about is Rivers State and how it's going to evolve. And I believe that at the right time, the president is going to have a key stakeholders meeting with the different leaders in Rivers State. Right now, he hasn't done that because I don't think that he believes that the time is right. But I know for a certainty that is coming, and we will sit down to discuss.
Thank you so much, my friend, Mr. Tonye Cole. I appreciate your time tonight on the program. Founder, Sahara NIG, and governorship candidate of the APC in the 2023 election in Rivers State. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Sharon.